What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekend Wagers. It is Friday, and we are getting this bad boy started off right. It's going to have a fun day, as we always do. We do have a little bit of change. So we have the Sleeper Saloon, which is going to still be here, and it's going to be the same. But there is going to be some difference to it. So we've been trying to figure out how we adjust without the NFL. Like, how can we do like a first touchdown kind of thing, right? And so we were like, you know what? We'll adjust and go to the first home runs. Well, they were available, but they're now no longer available. And so maybe as the season goes, they'll come back again. But they were here to start the season on some books, but they're not here anymore. So with that simply said, we're going to have a little two guys combined to hit a home run in the Friday night games, as long as they start after just the night games. Once the day games are out of the way, the night games. So if you want to play along, go ahead and put your two guys in here into the chat. I'll be more than happy. Just make sure that two guys combined over are a plus 1,000 or higher, which I would assume that any two guys will be a combined plus 1,000. But before we get into the show overall, we're unfortunately going to take a look back at this. And if you would, use your eyes and go right and left, if you don't mind. Left, we have a 3 in 1 day. Right is a 3 in 2 day. And that's about it. So we're going to kind of move on from the recap. As you can see there, it was a really, really good time there. So overall, but we're going to welcome in the boys, and look who it is. We got Robby. What's up, Robby?
What's up, DG? I was looking in the middle, but it's just really red. All I could see is red.
My eyes are bad too.
Yeah.
I agree. So happy afternoon to you too. Mark, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, DG. You know, I haven't seen that much red. I mean, usually you find that much red at like a murder scene, a crime scene of sorts, where there's blood splattered everywhere. I think we're going to have to open this up because.
Hold on. I don't want. Yeah. I'm having issues too listening to Mark. So let's go ahead and get into the plays today. I'm not sure exactly what he was saying. Something about the Residents, which I agree. Murder mystery type show. You should go look for it. There is some blood for sure in that. And so a very good series. But listen, great week last week on the recap. So let me go ahead and lead us off on our plays this Friday. And so we're going to get into my first one. And the reason I'm leading us off is not because I had a great day last time, is because my game starts in 6 minutes. Kevin Gossman under the 5.5 Ks at minus 110. Going against a New York Mets team that's tied for 8th in the fewest strikeouts per game. Gossman had 4 versus Baltimore in his first start. So simply with that being said, I'm targeting Gossman to go under again on his strikeouts. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to stay in the MLB there. We're going to go Marcell Ozuna 1+ walk at minus 105. All right, so listen, we don't normally play a player to get a walk all the time. But when a guy has a 7-game streak of walks to start the season, he's had 13 walks in those 7 games. I'm going to play, when it's minus 105, a guy that's going against Max Meyer, who's had a walk in the past against him. I think he gets another one. And then I'm going to finish off a little hardwood here, and that's Jalen Duren, the over 12.5 points at minus 130. So Jalen Duren, he played basketball here at the University of Memphis. And no, I'm not a University of Memphis Tigers fan, but I saw him up close many times. Dude is a freak athlete. But one thing he's learned and gotten better at is not just being a rebounder, but a scorer as well. Going against a Toronto team who's 21st against the center position in points allowed. He's got a 7-game streak of having 13 or more points. And so because of that, I'm going to roll with Jalen Duren to have 13 or more points. So we're going to keep this thing going as Mark, we're not coming to you. Let's go with Robby here as Robby's got his complete 4-pack, the entire load. He's going to blow it right here on Friday. Let's go.
Nice. Yes, it's Alex Ovechkin. What do you expect? Actually, this will probably be the last show that I play Alex Ovechkin anytime goal because he's going to break the record this weekend. There's an asterisk next to that because at FanDuel in certain states, you can get his prop at -112 for an anytime goal. If you get the boost, good luck. And thanks, FanDuel, for giving it to me, but not to Seabass. I don't know what the deal that was. But I got Alex Ovechkin, anytime goal, -112. I don't really have to go into it. He's 3 goals away from Wayne Gretzky. I've sprinkled on the first goal, the last goal, 2 goals, 3 goals. I'll put a little bit on everything tonight. But I hope he gets it on Sunday, if I'm being honest. Next play, we're going to stick in that game. We're going to go with his second line mate, not his line mate, in the second line, Alexei Protas. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if not. Taking him for a point at -120. He's been on fire throughout the month of March. He has 6 points in his last 10 games with 2 goals and 6 assists. So he's pretty much killing it other than Alex Ovechkin on that second line with up-and-comer Ryan Leonard. If you go to justthestatsports.com, I have a write-up on him as well. And then since we are blowing my load tonight, let's go into the baseball plays that I have. I'm going to go Jose Ramirez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Cleveland got the unlucky draw of the San Diego Padres, but Ramirez actually had a good time in that series. He had 2 of the 3 games, a home run on March 31st and 5 hits overall. He's playing the Angels today, a team that in the last 4 games, he has 4 home runs as well. So look for Jose to go off tonight. I like his home run prop at +650, hint, hint. And then the last play I have tonight, I was going to go Ketel Marte and Cody Bellinger, but an hour ago they said Cody decided to sit today. So we're going to pivot. We're going to go to Ketel Marte and Corey Seager, both to get a hit. They both have had hits in 5 of their last 6 games versus their opponents. I like for them to get a hit tonight at -105.
I like it. And looks like we got Chicago Pat here as well. Can't wait to hear the picks. But Captain, are you Captain America to Chicago Pat here?
I think so. He's my boy. He's a Blackhawks fan, but we come together on that, get a little bit of synergy.
I like it. All right, so we do have one already. Boom Boom's here. He's going with Edman and Seager as a combo at a +2,045. He's calling that the L word. We don't say that. I love it, but I wouldn't consider it a.
Well, I hate my odds now. If me and Preston are on the same play, it's never.
You know, I'm getting in the saloon now.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely not hitting because one of those guys, your boy likes them. Boom, boom. And it's not good for either one of you. All right. So he's got 4Ks. The Platinum Sombrero tonight coming for one of those fellas tonight. No doubt. All right. So let's go and finish our Friday with our guy. Mark, what you got?
Well, I'm so glad Chicago Pat was waiting for the picks because now he's finally going to get them. Let's start with the Dodgers and Phillies. We're going to go no run first inning at -120. Look, the Dodgers have not, their top of the batting order has just not performed very well in the first inning. It usually takes them a while to get going. Pitchers typically don't seem to pitch around them in the first as they do in the later innings. I love this spot for the Phillies and the Dodgers to not get a run in the first inning because I typically give out a 3-team specific parlay, but I'm not doing that here. And then I'm also going to take the Wild and Islanders under 1.5 goals in the first period. Look, these teams right now are fighting for a wild card spot, and the Islanders have been just stifling on defense. The Wild haven't given up many goals. In fact, they're averaging just 2.3 goals to the opposition over the last 6 games. I love this spot. It's going to be a low-scoring game. The model has this one actually as a 38% chance that this thing goes over the 1.5, which is why I'm playing the under.
38%. So you're telling me there's a chance. I like it there. All right. Well, that's our Friday plays, and just kind of looking at this full board, we're giving you our was that 4, 7, 9 plays on Friday. So one, it is completely loaded. A lot of this is dependent on baseball, basketball, as well as hockey with all these 9 plays. So go ahead and get them in before, lines do move, because we move the lines around here at Weekend Wagers. So if only we had a show during the week, maybe one day. But we're going to continue this cycle, and I'm going to go first and lead us off again on Saturday, because all I have is one. But there is another guy that has a play who's kind of going right at me, and I wanted to play the exact opposite, but I didn't. But I thought it would be fun.
I wish you would.
All right, well, let's do it. I'm going to play the exact opposite of that play. So go ahead and include it. Your Baker's dozen for the day. You can add his opposite play to mine, but I'm going to go ahead and lead off with the first one. And it's going to be the Duke team total over the 71.5. It's at -110. I believe you can get 70.5 on some books, just overall, but I believe it's a little juicy. The lines are moving. So at this point, the 70.5, I do love. 71.5, I still like it there. It's the most universal number just overall. I just think that this Duke team is going against, with the best offense, going against the best defensive team. And I think Houston's good. I just don't think Houston's great. I know they showed out against Tennessee. Tennessee is not good, okay? They're coached by Rick Barnes, just overall in general. That's a knock to you. Their offense has never been great, and they cower under good defense. It's shown throughout the entire season. Duke is much bigger, but also they, beyond the size, they have guys that they feel confident that they can get around guys on a one-on-one. But also, I think Shire overall, I think he's a better coach than Kelvin Sampson. I don't know if I'd ever have said that 2 years ago when he first started, but I do think that. So looking at that, Mark, me and you going head to head, you're going to go on an under for the first half. Go ahead and give us that first one so I can go ahead and proudly accept the challenge.
Yeah, I am taking the first half under 64 at -115. Look, I don't disagree with you, DG. I truly don't. I think that Duke wins this game. I think they definitely outsize Houston. Houston is a slow playing team. In fact, they're the 4th slowest team in the country, according to Ken Pom. Duke, surprisingly, is in that bottom 3rd tier of adjusted rate tempo. So they're not a overly fast, they're not going to put up 80, 90, 100 points on you with any sort of consistency. With that being said, I think because this is a Final Four match in a dome, it's going to take that first half. There's going to be a feeling out process that takes place. The second half, I actually think the over sails here. I don't think in the first half we see a lot of scoring because Houston is going to clamp down as hard as they can to prevent Duke from breaking out and getting a big lead in the first half. I think Duke is going to have to adjust to that type of defense. And I do think Duke wins from their pedigree on offense. I just don't see them figuring out that Houston defense until the second half.
Well, we'll see. I think that Duke being a team that continuously scores in the first half and being a team that covers and beats teams pretty good in the first half, I think it's going to be a difference of wills. I think this Houston team, in all accounts, I think they're a little overrated. I think they're very flawed. I think they're very small. And because of that, I think we're going to go head to head, just like me and you going head to head. And usually I'll win. But let's go ahead and finish you out. What's your last play on Saturday that you got here for the other game? I guess it's the first game of the Saturday.
Right. And just to be clear, you're taking the over 64 in the first half?
Over.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. I got you. All right. We'll go to the next one.
Hold on. So you needed me to explain that again to you? Like
I didn't know which.
I was just
I thought
curious.
you were taking the game, and I'm like, I don't know how we were on the opposite side. With you have a Duke total that I like actually at 71.5.
Okay. Well, thank you for saying I won. I'm 2-0 on Saturday. Go ahead and give us your first game play for Florida.
So I'm going to take the over on this one at 159.5 at -110. These teams are absolutely cranking out points. They play at a fast pace. They can light it up. They are not a team that is going to have cobwebs develop under their feet because they're, slowing things down, methodical, a lot of passing. They like to get out, push the tempo, and run this one up. The model actually has this one at 158.5, with both teams having a plus 3% or higher on the adjusted rate tempo. So I love this spot for lots of scoring, especially since it only has Florida by -1 point winning the game.
I like Florida to win this game. Looking at these plays, though, I am targeting Duke. You're going the under in the first half and then the over on the game between Florida and Auburn. Let's go through this real quick. Who do you think wins? And if we're all in agreement, I'm going to be upset. But Robby, let's start with you. So you have the Florida Auburn, then you have the Duke and Houston. Who are the two teams you expect to be in the championship on Monday?
Duke is going to beat Houston. They've got 3 guys who's going to be first-round draft picks. They're going to beat Houston. Florida, man, I won't bet on it, but I can't not take my Gators. It should be a good matchup. You got the student and the teacher, Todd Golden and Bruce Pearl, playing against each other. Actually, with Auburn being bad prior to the tournament, they've gotten the bad out of the way. But I don't think that Broome is healthy. I don't think he's healthy. I've seen a few clips of him out there on the court before today, and he just doesn't look right. So if he's out, definitely Florida. But Florida and Duke, so I'm going to roll with.
Mark?
I'm on Florida and Duke as well, for different reasons. I literally thought Auburn was going to be the first #1 seed kicked out of the tournament, and I had them disappearing in the second round, actually. I just didn't think that I thought of all the #1s, Auburn was the most overrated. I just don't see Houston's lack of – I don't see them having enough offensive power to overpower teams. And I agree with you, DG. I think when you have teams that push them and really push the tempo against them, those are the teams that have done very well against Houston. I think Duke is just a special team right now. And I don't know what the over-under limit would be on a Duke-Florida match. I'm kind of excited to see that as well. That's got to be in the 185, 187 range, I would imagine. So, yeah, I would love to see a high-scoring, fast-paced national championship, and those are the two teams.
Yeah, so if you want the lines right now, so Duke is either 4.5 or 5.5, depending on if it's Florida or Auburn. And then Houston would be favored over Auburn, but not Florida. Florida would be favored over Houston. And so if you're looking at the numbers just overall, that's the future outlooks. I thought about making that one of my plays just for fun because it was for a Monday play to take us all the way there. But, who knows? But I do think I'm the same as y'all, unfortunately, and the same right here with Boom Boom as well. Like I have, I'm sorry, he has Auburn Duke. So it's opposite. So I'm Florida Duke. With Duke being the champions, he's got Auburn Duke. We also have Joe, who likes Auburn as well. And then he's going to go completely opposite of Duke and going with Houston. Listen, these 4 teams are really good for a reason. They're the 1 seeds for a reason. You have to, when you're picking out your bracket, you got to figure out where the loss is coming from. Where are the upsets? Unfortunately, there weren't a ton this year. And so people who did chalk probably did pretty well in those. And yeah, Joe's here. He's got a defensive game plan. Kelvin Sampson coaching. Is he a master, or does his players make him look good? Because, and it might be coaching that he makes them get up into players and create, their space being limited and their movement being limited. Does he do that? Mark, in your opinion, do you see Kelvin Sampson being a great coach and where he can get these guys, or are they just like great defensive guys that are just completely different and they zag when everybody else is zigging in this game?
I think Kelvin Sampson's a great example of that old school coach, that last generation type coach, the Bobby Knights, the Krzyzewskis, Jim Boeheims, the masters of the game, who are now making way to the John Shires and that new younger generation of coaching. And so it's interesting for me to look at that and say, okay, you have 2 dynamically different approaches to this game. Which one wins? And I think that the trend in college basketball is moving towards a new style of play. It's a more fast-paced, run and gun type offenses, and that old style, the Kelvin Sampson style, don't get me wrong, he's got a hell of a team around him. He's got talented kids, and he's done very well with that group of his core. I just don't see him any further.
Yeah. Well, Chicago Pat's got a question, Robbie. If you see Duke and even Florida that I know you love, that you try to taking the bias out of it just completely. I know you don't love betting on your own team sometimes, but if you take that out, if you see that Duke or Florida goes down live, would you take a chance and say, hey, let me go ahead and hit them, if you've already have a play on them, or is it a stay away if you've already made like a play early before the game started?
Yeah, it's a good question. So completely taking bias out of it last week when we were down by about 10 with 4 minutes left. Of course, I was nervous, but there was something in the back of my mind that said this one isn't over. So, like, if I wasn't a Florida fan, I potentially would have sprinkled on Florida to come back. This one, I don't know, man. Auburn, they're very similar teams, I think, because Auburn, while it's Golden versus Pearl, Bruce Pearl knows Todd Golden. They both know each other. So I feel like it's going to be close. Like Mark said, the model has Florida -1. I feel like it's going to be that back and forth type of game. I don't really feel like one team's going to get above another. Now, if Broom isn't 100%, like I said, that kind of completely changes things. Taking bias out of it, I would hammer Florida.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of I'm the same way. If I catch a good number early on a team, I like that better than I almost said third quarter, than the midway through the second half. Midway through the second half, I'm gonna kind of let it play out and just because runs mean so much more than an early run in a game. An early run in a game means nothing to me personally. All it is a slow start, sluggish start, call a few timeouts, make it a couple of adjustments, and you're right back in the game. Like you can have a 10-point swing very easily on any of these games, but it's the after halftime. I usually just kind of stay away. So if it is first half and it's not deep into the first half, I will go ahead and make the play and look at it. But once after so long in the second, I kind of just let it go because I don't like those plays. I just think with college, it can shrink down quickly just because the shot clock's longer and everything. So great question, Chicago Pat. All right, let's get to our favorite time and the time that we can kind of be in the saloon a little bit. I'm not there. Mark's not there. We're very jealous of Robbie for sure, and even Joe. So let's get to the not slap shot, the sleeper saloon. All right, let's get to a little bit of Robbie hockey. Joe Neuenfeld here are the only members in the sleeper saloon, unfortunately, but we're going to go ahead and give you our play. So if you could in the comments, if you're just joining us, what we're doing now is we're going to do the home run parlays at the moment. Eventually we might switch over to do pick a game that we choose. We were trying to stick with the Friday night Apple Plus kind of plays and see, because there's Friday night games every Friday that are covered by Apple. If you have not watched a game on Apple, those Friday night games, they look crystal clear. They look like they're almost fake. So we were going to target them just to kind of give us some kind of a schedule, but there are no first home run bets out just yet. So we're going to pair two, as long as they're night games or late, in the afternoon games after this airs. So we can go ahead and put two guys together, plus 1,000 odds or more. Both guys hit, you get into the saloon. Robbie, we know that you've already hit. We know that you're already there. Go ahead and give us your saloon plays.
Yeah, tonight we're going to go. I was talking him up earlier. Jose Ramirez has 4 straight home runs against the Angels. I like him again tonight. They were going Corey Seager, 1 home run in his 5 plate appearances versus Littell, 2 home runs last season versus Tampa. Put them both together at plus 2,375.
Wow. That 2,300 is nuts. That I don't know which guy, because Seager doesn't have terrible odds. Is it Jose Ramirez that's that bad odds?
Ramirez is plus 650 at DraftKings, but he's like plus 400 at FanDuel. Huge difference.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to go next here because I have a little bit higher odds than Mark, which is on normal thing in these days. But mine is a plus 2,015. And so we have Kyle Schwarber and Wyatt Langford. So these 2 games are actually on the Apple Plus games, weirdly enough. And so I just kind of targeted them because Schwarber's been swinging the bat really good. And then Wyatt Langford is also swinging the bat really good. And so two guys that are, fairly hot at the moment. I figured it wouldn't be a terrible thing to target two guys that are swinging the stick. I like it. All right. So we have Mr. Plus 2015. What you got, Mark?
I think the 2015 is you, DG, and I don't know if that's Memphis math or whatever's going on, but 2100 certainly trumps 2015. So let's start with that. I'm taking Shohei Ohtani and Ellie De La Cruz. Look, I think Shohei Ohtani, if you're not playing him to hit a home run at any point during the season, you're leaving money on the table. De La Cruz just switched to the torpedo bat, and we saw what he did when he 11 total hits, runs, RBIs, I think was his total just 3 days ago. I think he is warming up with this. I think he's prime. He is Cincinnati's offense. De La Cruz for the home run after Shohei.
Yeah, you're right. I made a mistake. I do like De La Cruz. But mine is my number is wrong. I put it up there wrong, so I do apologize. I didn't think it was 2015, but anyway, it is like 2315. So I missed my number. I wrote it down right. I wrote it down on the slide wrong. I'm an idiot. But who was that? Chicago Pat is saying he is Joe. Joe said he's parlaying all six.
That's how you do it.
That's
That's
all
exactly how
that.
you do it.
If it hits, Joe, we'll put you in the saloon with a golden mug, and you will never leave, no matter where.
Saloon.
We'll
It's
change
going to be
the
called
name.
Joe's Saloon from now on.
Yeah,
If he hits that.
we will change the name, Joe, no doubt. But you got to make sure, one, I need to see the ticket if it does cash. I don't need AI helping you out cash that either. I need to make sure.
We'll know if they all cash because all three of us will get in.
No, I know, but I need the ticket. I need him to have the ticket. I need to see the ticket, as long as it's not fake. We'll put it under the light. Make sure, just like the $100 bill. Make sure it shows up. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that is the Sleeper Saloon. So make sure you go ahead and get those in. It really is just like it's a fun play. So do not take this serious and put a full unit on it. Don't be a dummy. Okay, that's the only thing I can express is don't be a dummy. And so make sure that you go ahead and get those in. It's a fun time, but go ahead. If you're listening to this afterwards and you want to play on Saturday, by all means, put it in the comments anytime, Saturday or Sunday, that you put in a comment in there and that you have two guys that hit. We'll make sure that we put you into the Sleeper Saloon for sure. But as we always do, we end the show having a little bit of fun, but also talking about our weekend vibes. And so, Mark, you're on the outside this time, so I'm going to make you go first. So, Mark, what are your weekend vibes?
First of all, I can't wait. We are so blessed to have so much going on this weekend from a sporting aspect and just an entertainment aspect. We get the Final Four on Saturday. We got the women's Final Four tonight. That we didn't even get into that, but we got the men's Final Four on Saturday. We have a break on Sunday, championship on Monday. That's Sunday. My good vibes is for the season finale of White Lotus. If you haven't started this series, and I'm talking to you, what are you doing? It's an amazing to have this culminate. It's going to be the longest finale that they've had in their 3 seasons. It's like I want to say an hour and 50 minutes, and I just can't wait. I'm so looking forward to all of them tying up all the loose ends. That's my good vibes. I'm stoked.
What is the White Lotus about? I've never seen a trailer. I've never seen an episode. I've heard about it, but I've never actually pushed the button to watch it. So what is the White Lotus about?
So the White Lotus is about a group of people at this specific resort who are going through different challenges, different experiences in their life, and the way that it all kind of plays out while they're there at this resort for a week.
Okay.
That's what this is about. And all 3 seasons have a common thread, and I'm looking for a little closure to all 3 seasons on Sunday.
Yeah, just like I was looking for closure of that explanation. All right, let's go with the other weekend vibes of Robby and what he's got here. What you got, Robby?
Yeah, we haven't forgot your punishment either, DG. It's coming. It is coming.
I'm speeding through it
But
all.
yeah, I know. My weekend vibes is the only rain that I want to see is the Florida Gators raining threes down on Saturday, because if I see any more rain in Tennessee, I may go off. You've seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I had a Rob rant last night that was one for the ages. I'm pretty sure the neighbors 2 streets down heard me cussing in my garage. I have a home gym. It's my only thing in life that I love, that I have this mind. Water keeps getting in my home gym, and I keep having to tear it up because we have to be in a freaking rainforest in Tennessee. It should not rain for 4 days straight in Tennessee. I know I'm complaining, and it doesn't matter because we can't control it. But I'm tired of it. I am so sick of this weather. That's the bad vibes. Good vibes. Florida's going to win on Saturday. White Lotus is going to be awesome on Sunday, and Florida's going to be national champions Monday night.
Wow. All right. So first of all, I agree with the rain. Like, I'm here in Tennessee. We're not that close in Tennessee. We're not terribly far away either, though. But like here, it has rained, I swear, every single day. It has rained out all of my hitting lessons that I do on the side at night. So that moolah that I normally have during the week, I've literally had none because it's been a downpour. I had to go pick up my kids 15 minutes from school yesterday because there was a 30-minute window where there wasn't any rain. So school completely made all adjustments. And so nothing against that. I think that's a smart move. But in general, the rain, I'm over it. I do not want to build an ark. My name is not Noah, and I do not want to have anything to do with it. And so, yes, I agree with your weekend vibes. But I'm excited about the basketball as well as the baseball that's taking place. This is going to be, I think, a really good weekend for baseball. The weather's going to be a little weird, and so you're gonna have some games that are going to be called. But overall, the games, what I hope is it isn't a letdown where there's 2 blowouts because an injury happens or something bad happens. Overall, where we have some bad games, but I expect 2 really good games, and then a third one on Monday. As well as the women that are going to be playing tonight as well as Sunday. So it should be an awesome weekend for basketball just in general, as long as my Grizzlies somehow don't continue to suck. They won last night, felt great, but my weekend vibes are definitely all good. But boys, any suggestions on what we need to do? I know that I need to welcome in this punishment because I went 0-4. It was my first 0-4. So I got to make sure I'm doing something. So Mark, any suggestions or any thoughts on how we're going to figure out what my punishment should be for going 0-4 last week?
Yeah. Listen, we've all, unfortunately, have had this experience. I know, being the one with the most of these experiences, there's not a worse feeling in the world when you know you're like, oh, it's just. I think what we need to do is start maybe a poll or some sort of community brain trust, if you will, to come up with what would be a sufficient and effective punishment. I tend to side on the idea of a tattoo, but I know that's a little extreme.
I would get one with you. We would shoot
so would I. I mean, you wouldn't be alone.
Could do a live show in the parlor.
Your loss is our game. So, I mean, we're all there.
Yeah. I'm going to nix that one completely. No tattoo. But I do like the community aspect of maybe asking, and let's see if we can start a poll. Robbie, is there any thoughts on a direction? Like, I kind of need to know a little bit, like in life. Like, I feel like it's getting kept from me what I'm going to have to go through in life.
Oh, it will be kept from you. No. Yeah, it'll be kept from you. You won't know until that day.
I love everything, Robbie. I love everything. So
Kate, if you're watching, reach out to Mark and myself and let us know, since my wife, the Judas, stabbed me in the back and went to Mark on the hot chip challenge. So, Kate, if you watch, just, talk to me and Mark, figure something out.
Well, she's not watching. I promise you that. She'll probably never see this, nor will I ever tell her to watch. So We're gonna keep that, but yeah, we'll figure out something for my punishment for going 0-4. It's bad. I think I believe it was like the 4-0 the week before, and then you go 0-4. It's like complete opposites. As long as I don't go 0-4 again, that's not what we want to happen. But my game has already started. I haven't even looked at exactly what the stat line is. So, boys, if you'll just give me a second, I think I should go ahead and look right now live and see how I'm doing so far. So
yeah, because the Justice Stat Sports Play of the Day also has Juan Soto getting a walk against Kevin Gausman.
Yep.
So he's walked 9 times in 16 plate appearances against the Gasman.
So he got out. So Gausman, 31 pitches in the first inning, 0 strikeouts and 2 runs. So I'm feeling good about it so far. Just keep on mowing them down. Keep pitching there, Gausman. Keep sucking, buddy. And that way I can go ahead and cash my first ticket, have a good feeling. So if you missed it, that's on you. You should have been here from the start of the show. You could have had a heads up. Unless it loses, then you're probably thankful that you missed it.
That's got to be our new tagline. The weekend wagers. If you're not watching, you're already behind.
100%. On that note, let's get out of here. You've been watching the Weekend Wager show where we give you your 12-pack of plays. We had a little head-to-head between Mark and I on our Saturday play, so make sure you go check it out. But always a good time with the boys, having a great time on a Friday as always. But that's all we got. Hopefully we help you laugh a little bit, but also we help you cash always right here at Weekend Wagers.